Shalom, beloved. This is Job chapter 38. Yeah, be right there. Well, since this part is shorter than what I thought, how long it was, this is going to be a shorter video than the others. I'll stop it and start the next book, which is the book of Psalms. So I'll start from there after. So I'll complete this one, start over from the new book, just to keep it in chronological order. So then the Lord answered Job out of the whirlwind and said, "Who is this that darkeneth counsel by words without knowledge? Gird up now my loins like a man, for I will demand of thee, or question of thee, and answer thou me. Where wast thou when I laid the foundations of the earth? Declare, if thou hast understanding. Who hath laid the measures thereof? If thou knowest, who hath stretched the line upon it? Whereupon are the foundations thereof fastened? Or who laid the cornerstone thereof? When the morning stars sang together, and all the sons of God shouted for joy. Who shut up the sea with doors when it brake forth, as if it had issued out of the womb? Then I made the cloud of the garment thereof, and thick darkness a swaddling band for it, and break up for it my decreed place, and set bars and doors. I fixed my limit for it, and said hitherto, Halt thou come, but no further, and here shall thy proud waves be stayed. Hast thou commanded the morning since the days, and caused the day spring or the dawn to know his place, that it might take hold of the ends of the earth, that the wicked might be shaken out of it. It is turned as clay to the seal, and they stand as a garment. And from the wicked their light is withholden, and the high arm shall be broken. Wow. That's deep. Okay. Hast thou entered into the spring of the sea, or hast thou walked in the search of the depth? Have the gates of death been opened unto thee? And hast thou seen the doors of the shadow of death? Have the doors been revealed? Hast thou perceived the breadth of the earth? Declare if thou knowest it all. Dang. It's deep. Where is the way where light dwelleth? And as for darkness, where is the place thereof? That thou shouldest take it to the bound thereof, meaning its territory, and that thou shouldest know the path to the house thereof. Knowest thou it because thou wast then born, or because the number of thy days is great? Hast thou entered into the treasures of the snow, or hast thou seen the treasures of the hail, meaning treasury, which I have reserved against the time of trouble, against the day of battle and war? By what way is the light parted, which scattereth the east wind upon the earth? Deep. Who hath divided the water course for the overflowing of waters, or the way of the lightning, or thunderbolt of thunder? I just saw that Thunderbolt movie, so it's interesting. To cause it to rain on the earth, where no man is, on the wilderness, wherein there is no man, to satisfy the desolate and waste ground, and to cause the bud of the tender herb to spring forth. Hath the rain a father, or who hath begotten the drops of dew? Mm. Oof. Out of whose womb came the ice and the hoary frost of heaven? Who hath gendered it? The waters are hid as with a stone, or hardened like a stone, and the face of the deep is frozen. Canst thou bind the sweet influences of Pleiades, or loose the bands of Orion? Canst thou bring forth Mazaroth in his season, or canst thou guide Arcturus, the great bear, with his sons? Oh, what is that? Ursa Major, Ursa Minor? Huh. Interesting. So they talking about they talk about the stars in here, the constellations, and just asking just hypothetical questions. Don't the raindrops got a father? You know what I'm saying? Like, who is? We think ourselves to be high and mighty. Hmm. And ever so gently are we reminded, you're a speck. You're special, but you're a speck. Humble thy heart. It's interesting. life, life be life. Knowest thou the ordinance of heaven? Canst thou set the dominion thereof in the earth? Canst thou lift up thy voice to the clouds, that abundance of waters may cover thee? It's definitely been happening this year, the last 5 years. Canst thou send lightnings that they may go, and say unto thee, here we are? Who hath put wisdom in the inward parts, the mind? Who hath put wisdom in the minds? Who hath given understanding to the heart? Who can number the clouds in wisdom? And who can stay or pour out the bottles of heaven? When the dust groweth or hardens into clumps, and the clods cleave fast together, wilt thou hunt the prey for the lion, or fill the appetite of the young lions, when they couch or crouch in their dens, and abide in the covert to lie in the wait, meaning they lurk in their lairs? Who provideth? Man, that's interesting. It's like I'm the one who gave everybody their ways. Like I started this gangster. It's beautiful. Who provideth for the raven his food, when his young ones cry unto God? They wander for lack of meat. How easily we get distracted and forget how much God has done for us in our life from the day we was born. Sometimes we forget. I'm guilty. Sometimes we forget who did all of this, who made all of this happen. And the Most High, 100%, 1000% credit. I don't see how we forget, but sometimes we slip up and trip up and slide down and slide back. So he's definitely asked these questions. So it's good for you to think on those and ponder. Chapter 39. Knowest thou the time when the wild goats of the rock bring forth? And canst thou mark when the hinds do calve? Canst thou number the months that they fulfill, or knowest thou the time when they bring forth? They bow themselves, they bring forth their young ones, they cast out their sorrows. Man, this is deep. Their young ones are in good liking. They grow they are healthy, and they grow up with corn. They grow up strong. They go forth and return not unto them. Yeah. So it's like you just ran off with the plug. Who hath sent out the wild ass free? Who when a caged bird is free now, does he believe it's free? Shalom, beloveds, on TikTok and live on Instagram, Kick, Twitch, X, Facebook, YouTube. Yes, great glory. It's great to have everybody. Who hath sent out the wild ass free, and who hath loosened the bands of the wild ass, the onager, whose house I have made the wilderness and the barren land his dwellings. He scorneth the multitude or tumult of the cities, neither regardeth he the crying of the driver, the shouts. The range of the mountain is his pasture, and he searcheth after every green thing. Will the unicorn be willing to serve thee, or abide by thy crib? So they wouldn't be called. Why are they calling it a myth if it's being directly mentioned right here? And this is Job chapter 39, verse 10, where they mention unicorn. Is that one of the beautiful creatures that people try to hunt down and make extinct? I mean, I'm quite sure they are around as above, so below, but just for them to be mentioned, the deflective tactics that we've gone through in our lives, where they be like, "Oh no, don't believe this," We start asking questions, and the questions are inside of the Bible. So, and it's open to interpretation of questioning. But when you see things like this, and it shows up, it makes you look back in things in conversations or interactions or experiences in your life that make you be like, "Wait, hold up, I'm reading this in a different lens now, and now I see this. Before you was telling me to stay away from it. Why was you telling me to stay away from it? Why was you telling me not to read these books? Why was you telling me not to watch these movies or study these documents?" You start really putting things together as you grow. This is for a lot of the young brothers and sisters out there. Because you got to think about the OGs been here longer than you, and they looking at it like, "Oh, well, we made a couple mistakes here and there." And us being the OGs, and as you get older, you don't realize you start becoming the OG. And the uncle, and the teacher, and the prophet, or the priest, high priest. You start thinking about these things and humbling the heart to be able to help out others that are out there that may be going through the same, like, "Oh wait, what? The unicorn," or Urim and Thummim, or giants. When you look at this in such an investigative aspect, but with spiritual open eyes, it makes you look at all of the stuff that you thought you've been taught, or the perspectives or the ideologies that we've consumed. So it does help to be able to go deeper and further into things and questioning, and actually start having the courage to actually seek out the knowledge that may have been hidden from you or not been discussed. because it is out there. The information is very in your favor to be out there right now. So just got to go out there and seek it. Canst thou bind the unicorns or the wild ox and band and his band in the furrow, or will he harrow the valleys after thee, or meaning ropes? Wilt thou trust him because his strength is great, or wilt thou leave thy labor to him? Wilt thou believe him that he will bring home thy seed or grain, and gather it into thy barn? Gavest thou the goodly wings unto the peacocks, or wings and feathers unto the ostrich, which leaveth her eggs in the earth, and warmeth them in dust, and forgetteth that the foot may crush them, or that the wild beast may break them, literally trample. It's interesting because you're starting to see so many just animals that we thought were just extinct coming back in phenomenal droves. So that's why it's just interesting to be reading this right now. It's like, man, I'm starting to see a lot of different animals that we thought were gone pop up. So that's because a lot of people are being wiped off the land too. So, but yeah, which leaveth her eggs in the earth, and warmeth them in dust, and forgetteth that the foot may crush them, or that the wild beast may break them or trample them. She is hardened against her young ones, as though they were not hers. Her labor is in vain without fear, because God hath deprived her of wisdom, neither hath he imparted to her understanding. What time she lifted up herself on high, she scorneth the horse and his rider. Hast thou given the horse strength? Hast thou clothed his neck with thunder or mane? Canst thou make him afraid as a grasshopper, or spring into fear? The glory of his nostrils is terrible, meaning great. They switched the word around. So he mocked. I've skipped past that. He paweth in the valley, and rejoiceth in his strength. He goeth on to meet the armed men. He mocketh at fear, and is not affrighted, neither turneth his back. He backed from the sword. Mm. The quiver rattleth against him, and glittering spear, and the shield, and the javelin. He swalloweth the ground with fierceness and rage, neither believeth he that is the sound of the trumpet. Wow. He devours the distance. That's what swalloweth means. He hath among the trumpets, ha ha. It literally say ha ha in here. That's hilarious. It made me laugh today. That made my day, I guess. For anybody out there. And he smelleth the battle afar off, and thunder of the captains and the shouting. Doeth the hawk fly by thy wisdom, and stretch her wings toward the south? It's interesting. I've been seeing, yeah, it's literally been a hawk. Every time I step right out my patio, hawk. It's like at the right precise moment, and it's like a moment of like clarity for me that's been going on recently. It's amazing. Do the eagle mount up at thy command, and make her nest on high? She dwelleth and abideth on the rock, upon the crag of the rock, in a strong place. From thence she seeketh the prey, and her eyes behold afar off. Her young ones also suck up blood. and where the slain are, there is she. And that's a good interpretation of like Willie Lynch letters too. Like the mother is the broken side of that, the traumatized version of it, the psychological damage from that trauma. Um, she passes down through her bosom that information, that discipline, that instruction, that direction, you know, and the kids, you know, either they regurgitate it back out or they take it in supplication. But that's interesting that we take up the information or the experiences or the lessons from our forefathers and our foremothers. And so unknowingly, we take on attributes and thought thought processes and ideologies and ways that we don't know that we think are good for us, but they can really be our lesson in trouble or detrimental. So they get into our blood system, they suck up the blood. So it's interesting. Chapter 40. Moreover, the Lord answered Job and said, shall he that contendeth with the Almighty instruct him? He that reproveth God, let him answer it. It's very deep. Then Job answered the Lord and said, Behold, I am vile. What shall I answer thee? I will lay my hand upon my mouth. Yeah, I'm guilty of that. I've been humbled, and it's allowed me to shut up. So once I have spoken, but I will not answer. Yea, twice, but I will proceed no further. Then answered the Lord unto Job out of the whirlwind and said, Gird up thy loins now like a man. Yeah. I will demand of thee and declare thou unto me. Wilt thou also disannul my judgment? Like, be a man, damn it. Grab your balls. Get some cojones. Where's your testicular fortitude? Wilt thou also disannul my judgment? Wilt thou condemn me? Wilt thou mayest be righteous? Yes. 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 Hast thou an arm like God? Or canst thou thunder with a voice like him? It's humbling. It's very humbling. Deck thyself now with majesty and excellency, and array thyself with glory and beauty. Cast abroad the rage of thy wrath. Man, I needed that. This is a ha-ha. This is a aha, aha, and a ha-ha for me. I've been going through a lot. And so, yeah, this is definitely a aha, aha. Cast abroad the rage of thy wrath, and behold, every one that is proud and abase him. Humble. Humble. I have been truly humbled this year. That's why I can ha-ha. My ego and all this other stuff was super big. A lot of that broken down. Definitely needed. Look on every one that is proud and bring him low, and tread down the wicked in their place. Oh, yeah, I'm treading down. Hide them in the dust together and bind their faces in secret. I'm laughing to keep from crying. Then will I also confess unto thee that thine own right hand can save thee. Yeah. Behold now, Behemoth, which I made with thee, he eateth grass as an ox. And the Chinese New Year, I'm the year of the ox, the year of the oxen. I'm a hard worker, but I'm stubborn. Everything, everywhere I go, I work. I'm going to outwork you. I'm going to just going to do it. That's just me. It's not even about you. I'm sorry. You're just in the way. I'm sorry. It's the glorificate. It's a glory for the Most High. Like it's literally that. It's like, man, you gave me all this dopeness, and I can use it. They say the sky, the sky ain't the limit. Like they like shine bright. I'm gonna let it shine. We used to sing these songs. So is it okay if I shine bright? But yeah. But I mention that just because stubborn, hard-headed for me. Sometimes you got to put water in the oxen's ear for them to actually listen or get right, for them to actually hear. And that's a lesson for me, as I'm reading right now. Lo, now, his strength is in his loins, and his force is in the navel of his belly, and his stomach muscles. He moveth his tail like a cedar, and sinews of his stones, his thighs, are wrapped together. His bones are strong pieces of brass. His bones are like bars of iron. Yeah. I refuse to be broken. And that was a problem for me. That was that pride, that stubbornness, because I had already been broken. I just didn't want to accept that I could ever be. And it's like, dude, it's not true. You're living a lie. In reality, you've been broken down, shattered, and you're putting your pieces together every time. As you're putting it together, like a Fabergé egg, it may get cracked a little bit more, but it's interesting because it challenges you to fix that crack, to challenge to don't let things break and fall apart more than they need to. Because every day you're building and you're trying to heal and recalcify those broken bones. When a bone breaks, it doesn't break again when it recalcifies over. So even with the broken heart, even from me, I believe that to be so. You get stronger when you start healing. It does. He is the chief of the ways of God. He that made him can make his sword to approach unto him. Surely the mountains bring him forth food, where all the beasts of the field play. He lieth under the shady trees, or the lotus trees, in the covert of the reed and fens, meaning marsh. The shady trees cover him with their shadow. The willows of the brook compass him about. Behold, he drinketh up a river, and hasteneth. He trusteth that he can draw up Jordan into his mouth. Man. Oh, that's deep. Yeah, I'm getting smacked. He taketh it with his eyes. His nose pierceth through snares. Chapter 41. Canst thou draw out Leviathan with a hook? Yeah. Or his tongue with a cord which thou lettest down. Wow. Yeah. That's deep. Man. This is deep right now. Canst thou put a hook into his nose, or bore his jaw through with thy horn? It's interesting because the whole time I was in Florida trying to catch a fish, I was so impatient. Everybody else is catching fish, and I'm catching the smallest fish. I wasn't grateful with the least. And the Most High instantly took it away. It's like, oh, you're not going to be? You're going to be hateful? You're not going to be grateful? All right, I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you better than I can tell you. He's like, you have the capabilities of catching a Leviathan. I'm giving you these little fish because you're not focused. You're not disciplined. You're not consistent. You're stubborn. You're impatient. You're emotionally all over the place. Scatterbrain. You need to refocus. You need to rediscipline. You need to calm down. Trust in your abilities that He has blessed us with. Believe in yourself. It's time to start believing in yourself. Yeah. Will He make in many supplications unto thee? Will He speak soft words unto thee? Will He make a covenant with thee? Wilt thou take him for a servant forever? Wilt thou play with him as with a bird? And wilt thou bind him for thy maidens? Shall the companions make up a banquet of him? Yeah. I used to think I wanted that. I never did, but I thought I was needed. It's like the icky things that we take on, and we traumatize people, brothers and sisters. Like, man. But it's amazing because I've been able to help people out there because it helps me. This fills my gas tank back up. When you think that there's no way to get that gas back. Yeah. I know a lot of days I was scared to be great. And that would do that to you. It'll make you drink that poisonous Kool-Aid. And you'd be so... It's the movie, The Curse of the Golden Flower. It's a phenomenal movie. They were saying it was medicine, but it was really killing you. And at this point in my life, I'm starting to think a lot of that stuff that we thought was true. It's like, huh? It's not true. Yeah, we're so bounded by it. We want the money, the success, and the cars and clothes, all that stuff. No, that's not why He sent us back. Not right now. Not right now. I realize that I'm doing a lot of hard work to cleanse and decalcify and recalibrate and get back in alignment and really find out, like, honestly, why we were sent back here. We all have a beautiful divine purpose. Sometimes it may be hard to scavenge in the dark with a stick and a dying flashlight. But there's always the Holy Spirit guiding you, keeping you safe when you're asking, when you're praying, Lord, I need help, this, that. You start getting binded to those things. Those positive affirmations start to help you. Looking at what we bind ourselves to. Shall they part him amongst the merchants or divide? And that's what we do. We put everything on a list. Who's the greatest of all time in this? And who's the greatest of all time in that? And if we become so gladiatorial and predatory over each other, and that it's the incubator of the envy. I didn't realize I had a bucket of it myself. When you stay in your own lane, there's no traffic. When you start going over and looking at other people, you're like, oh, anything you can do, I can do better. And we get told that you can be anything you put your mind to. So When in doubt, zoom out and take a look at all of the things that we have been shown. It's like, yeah, you're supposed to be great, but you're supposed to be humble. Which one comes first? And that's where I'm running into people when I have a conversation with them, being out and about. Is it better to be great right now or to be humble? Most people like, man, I gotta go get it. I gotta go do this. It's that infestation of that urgency to appease the 7 deadly sins, because the fear of FOMO, the missing out. It's deeper than that. So deep. Divide him among the merchants. Canst thou fill the skin with barbed irons or harpoons, or his head with fish spears? Lay thine hand upon him. Remember the battle. Do no more. Behold, the hope of him is in vain. Shall not one be cast down even at the sight of him? None is so fierce that dare stir him up. Who then is able to stand before me? Who hath prevented me or preceded me, that I should repay him? Whatsoever is under the whole heaven is mine. Wow. Great Lord. I will not conceal his parts or his limbs, nor his power, nor his comely proportion. Comely. Yeah. Who can discover the face of his garment? And who can come to him with his double bridle? Who can open the doors of his face? His teeth are terrible round about. The word terrible in here means actually good. So his scales are his pride, shut up together as with a closed seal. In chapter 41, yeah. One is so near to another that no air can come between them. That's being locked in. You focus. That's showing you the definition of when you're great. They are joined one to another. They stick together. That they cannot be surrendered or sundered or separated. We're greater together. We're greater together when we stick together. By his neesings, a light doeth shine. His eyes are like the eyelids of the morning. Out of his mouth go burning lamps, and sparks of fire leap out. Out of his nostrils goeth smoke, as out of the seething pot or cauldron, or boiling or burning rushes. His breath kindled coals, and a flame goeth out of his mouth. In his neck remaineth strength. And that's amazing. When it be like stiff neck, you being hard headed and stuff like that, you're hard to, deal with, like having strength in your neck to hold your head up. That's what it is. Having the strength to hold your head up in the most crazy and horrible times in your life. Being able to just hold your head up, have the strength in your neck to not lower your head in disappointment, guilt, shame, sorrow, regret, punishment. It does happen. It happens more often than not. We try to live in this fantasy la la land of a world that, failure doesn't happen, or, we should glorify failure as if it's a reward. And most of the time it is, because it's not a loss, it's a lesson. But I think when we start being in delusion and denying that, these things happen, We start to become an alias, an artificial character, something else, like an avatar. And it starts taking you away from who you are. So it's a part of the process. And when you break down, the Most High has given you such the great ability and the willpower that are you going to break down and stay broken down, or are you going to break through and get back up and stiffen up your neck and keep strengthening it every day? Because it is mental, physical, and spiritual exercise. Even just reading this right now, this is spiritual exercise. Even for me, and I have to sit there and apologize to myself, like, why you ain't doing this every day? Then I could sit here and say an excuse. Then I'm not, because I shouldn't have no excuse. And there need not to be an excuse of why you should be strengthening yourself, strengthening your neck. Because every day the whole world is trying to reject you, trying to make you fail, take away everything from you, lie to you, deceit, treat you bad. And you must have the strength to walk up the moment that you wake up, because you woke up, the Most High woke you up. So great glory. You should be shouting from the bottom of your heart. Great glory, because you woke up. You've been given another shot to strengthen yourself. And that time is now. Not tomorrow, it's now. In his neck remaineth strength, and sorrow is turned into joy before him. It's amazing. The flakes or the folds of his flesh are joined together. They are firm in themselves. They cannot be moved. His heart is as firm as a stone, yea, as hard as a piece of the nether millstone or the lower millstone. When he raiseth up himself, the mighty are afraid. By reason of breakings, they purify themselves. They are beside themselves. So, yeah. Even the mighty are afraid. I mean, you're seeing that now, like even Diddy's in court right now. Even the mighty are afraid. The Epsteins of the world, even the mighty are afraid. All the truths come out. Even with me, even the mighty are afraid. It's humbling to think about all that. It's very humbling. The sword of him that layeth at him cannot hold, the spear, the dart, nor the harbinger. Or meaning javelin. He esteemeth iron as straw, and brass as rotten wood. The arrow cannot make him flee. Sling stones are turned with him into stubble. Darts are counted as stubble or straw. He laugheth at the shaking of the spear. Sharp stones are under him. He spreadeth sharp pointed things upon the mirror. He maketh the deep to boil like a pot. He maketh the sea like a pot of ointment. Interesting. It is like a pot. And it is like a pot of ointment. The moment that you even get into that water is amazing. It's breathtaking. The moment you get into the ocean, it's like having dominion over it. You get in that water and it's life-changing, properties, enriching. It's like you become a whole different person right then and there. It's an ointment. That's why a lot of people do live by the beach around the whole world. If you think about it, you know, it's a very small amount of people that live like all the way in the mountains, like all the way in the middle of nowhere. All of this, what is it? Off grid living. Yes, it's a lot. It's a lot more now than it was ever. But I mean, obviously, we came from the Wild Wild West and the Oregon Trail traveling. You know, our ancestors traveled the Pacific Ocean by no problem, by mammoth husk, turning them and navigating through by the stars. The stars have never lied or deceived or swayed or did anything other than been the truth. And that is what the Most High has been to us. It's all truth, all seeing, all knowing, all feeling, all hearing. So how dare you question like the sounds of the trees when the leaves are just majestically whispering to you, when the birds are chirping in the morning. It's like it make you feel sometimes it make you feel different about life and how healing and therapeutic and ointment-esque everything is when you go and put your feet in the dirt and you go ground yourself. It's ointment. All of the elements are ointment. Take a hot bath. That's fire and water. That's ointment. So he maketh a path to shine after him. One would think the deep to be hoary or had white hair. I got white hair now. I'm an uncle. My old little goat, Billy Goats. Little Billy Goat. Upon earth there is not his like, who is made without fear. Yeah, that's true. He beholdeth all high things. He is a king over all the children of pride. Then Job answered the Lord. Chapter 42. Chapter 42. Then Job answered the Lord and said, I know that thou canst do everything, and that no thought can be withholden from thee. Who is he that hideth counsel without knowledge? Therefore therefore I have I uttered that I understood not things too wonderful for me, which I knew not. Yeah. Here I beseech thee, and I will speak. I will demand of thee, and declare thou unto me. I have heard of thee by the hearing of the ear, but now mine eye seeth thee. Wherefore I abhor myself and repent in dust and ashes. It was so far that after the Lord had spoken these words unto Job, the Lord said to Eliphaz and the Temanite, my wrath is kindled against thee. That's one thing I've wrestled with a lot of my life, and yeah. And against thy two friends. And I've done that to a lot of my friends and family. Hurt a lot of people. And they're like, I ain't dealing with that nigga no more. I love him, but you gonna do you, homie. That's why I can laugh about it. It is funny. But I love everybody. For ye have not spoken of me the things that is right, as my servant Job hath. Therefore, take unto you now 7 bullocks and 7 rams, and go to my servant Job, and offer up for yourselves a burnt offering and my servant Job shall pray for you. For him will I accept, lest I deal with you after your folly, in that ye have not spoken of me the things which is right, like my servant Job. Oh, wow. I just got an amazing download in my life right now. Who am I? Who am I to judge? Trey, who are you? Prime, who are you to judge? Kindle that wrath. Kindle that wrath, my son. Wow. The Most High will stop you right dead in your tracks to give you exactly what you need right there. Oh, wow. Thank you. Wow. I'm going to have to read that again. Hold up. Because that just threw me off. I needed that. Therefore, take unto you now 7 bullocks and 7 rams. I've been seeing 777s. And I ain't had no luck. I have, don't get me wrong, but oh man. The number sequences in my life are everywhere I go. 1 2 3 4 1 1 1 1 4 4 11 11 7 7 7 3 3 3 4 4 4 5 5 5 5 5 5 5 is my actual angel number. That's my time. My lock-in time. 911. There's a light that flickers outside of my everywhere I've gone across the whole country. I've seen these flickering lights. I didn't really make no sense of what they was, but I think Mr. NBB 333 he still talks about it on his chapter, on his page, his channel on YouTube. I'm gonna get back to putting those videos out too, and doing my response to them because, I jokingly said about the Pope, he was gonna get smoked on 420. And he got smoked on 420. And now they're doing the conclave. If you've never seen the movie Conclave, that's what's exactly happening right now with the whole Pope thing. And then Trump, he put up an AI generated picture of him being the Pope now. Then you got a couple different popes. You got an Asian Pope. You got an African Pope. You got a LGBTQ plus Pope in the mix. You have a lot. It's a mess right now with them right now. It's a mess right now. So you never see that movie Conclave. That's definitely was like spot on to a T. Even what's going on with the sun's activity right now. There's been so much going on right now. And for us to sit there and question what is happening, what's going on, that's not good. But I've been seeing those. And offer up for yourselves a burnt offering, and my servant Job shall pray for you. For him I will accept, lest I deal with you after your folly, in that ye have not spoken of me the things which is right, like my servant Job. Wow. When we have not spoken of, whether it's to the Most High in our own private time, or even amongst the congregations that we mix and mingle with. That's why I always burp out Ezekiel 33, because that kind of like is my marker. Like, oh nope, you have to blow the horn, sir. You can't let that slide. Where's your moral integrity? Is your moral compass in alignment? Are you calibrated right now? You seeing something going on or wrong, and you don't speak about it? And I think a lot of people appreciate that about me, that I will help check they ass, and sometimes it's not appreciated because I am like Uncle Boot Camp, have a very strong presence about me, but everybody appreciates my leadership qualities. I just got told that. I'm like, man, you got it, man. You got it, man. You just need to get your emotions in check. What's going on, man? So I'm like, talk about that another time. But when you have not spoken of me the things which are right, and even I had to get spanked because the things that I was doing and saying were not right. And sometimes you have to tell yourself that, hey, you ain't doing it right. You're doing it wrong. You need to refix what you've been doing or saying, because you do got a fly in your soup. Somebody's telling you that there's a fly in your soup, and yeah, you may make the best soup. There's a fly in your soup, though. Yeah. You got to do like what Job did, which will help. It helps out some. You got to do all of it, though. But so Eliphaz the Temanite, and Bildad the Shuhite, and Zophar the Naamathite went and did according as the Lord commanded them. The Lord also accepted Job, and the Lord turned the captivity of Job when he prayed for his friends. Also, the Lord gave Job twice as much as he had before. It's one hell of a test that Job went through, y'all. We definitely have gone through a lot. And when you break through, he would give you twice. Just like even with the little fish, like I wasn't patient with that fish. I was in class, and that was a pop quiz. Oh, thank you, I get it. And that was the lesson that I received from that in that moment. So we go through these tests for a reason. Gave Job twice as much as he had before. Then came there unto him all his brethren and all his sisters, and all they had been of his acquaintance before, and did eat bread with him in his house. And they bemoaned him, and they comforted him over all the evil that the Lord had brought upon him, or the adversity. Every man also gave him a piece of money, and every one an earring of gold. So the Lord blessed the latter end of Job more than his beginning. Wow. For he had 14,000 sheep and 6,000 camels, and 1,000 yoke of oxen, and 1,000 she asses. He had also 7 sons and 3 daughters. And he also called the name, he called the name of the first Jemimah and Jemimah. It's funny, because now we're just dealing with that with the Aunt Jemima thing now. Yeah. All right. And the name of the second, Keziah. That's a beautiful name. And the name of the third, Karen Hapach. And in all the land were no women found so fair as the daughters of Job. And their father gave them inheritance among their brethren. And after this lived Job 140 years. 140 years. And saw his sons and his sons' sons, even 4 generations. So Job died being old and full of days. And that is the end of chapter 42 and the end of the book of Job. We will end this and continue with the book of Psalms. I'm excited for that one, because, yes, I'm excited. But we'll end this one, and we'll come back this one, and we'll get some of the Psalms in today. Great glory. Shalom, family.